Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen, today I wanted to talk a little bit about Sofi Technologies Incorporated. This is ticker symbol SOFI or Sofi, the same name as the company. And today was not necessarily a great day for Sofi, down 2.23%. We had a random kind of run up at the beginning of the day all the way up to 642, where we were in the green by a decent amount before obviously kind of crashing back down. And today we did hit a new all-time low for Sofi. Our intraday low was 609, but we have bounced back from that a little bit. And then after hours, we're actually up 2.28%. So really, if you include after hours, which I usually don't look into the after hours too much, but if you did want to look into the after hours, we would be a little tiny bit green on the day. We'll have to see how that carries over into tomorrow, of course, to really kind of see where we are at and to give it an accurate gauge. But yeah, an overall down day for Sofi today, even though, most of the major indices were pretty flat. You can see Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ, and the Russell were all within half a percentage point of zero. So the fact that Sofi was down 2% was not necessarily great, and there's definitely some big stories to talk about today regarding Sofi. That's what we're going to be doing in this video. So drop a like if you guys do enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. And of course, as always, there's not going to be any financial advice in this video. I'm not telling you guys to buy anything. I'm not telling you guys to sell anything. Nothing like that. Just going over the latest, talking about some stories, news, all that good stuff, and giving some of my thoughts and opinions. With that being said, let's get right into this one. So again, not a great day for Sofi. When I always like, starting off these things by kind of looking at these articles and stuff here. It's where I get a lot of my ideas, a lot of what I'm going to talk about for the day. And I see this article from Seeking Alpha. I don't really like using Seeking Alpha too much because you get like a couple free articles a month and then they try to get you to pay and everything. So I don't even want to click on their stuff half the time because either I can read it or it's like, oh, you got to pay. And then it's like, oh, sign up. And then you get a couple more. I don't know. It's really annoying. But anyway, they say, at least the headline is that the story is far from over as Sofi isn't just student loans. And I think that is a very, very interesting point. And now all these websites, they constantly go back and forth playing both sides of loving like every stock, hating every stock, and everything in between. Seeking Alpha has definitely been critical of Sofi before. Obviously, they have a ton of different writers. It's not one company. It's not one person. But I do think this is interesting that they're getting this out to more and more people because this is something that obviously Anthony Noto has talked about significantly, that yes, even though that's how they kind of burst onto the scene and that's kind of how they got their big break and their big start, they're not just student loans anymore. And, they already put out their guidance for the rest of 2022 where they're not even factoring in student loan refinancing and getting interest off student loans or anything like that at all, because they do believe that it's very, very possible that the student loan moratorium could get delayed all the way up until maybe some point in 2023, maybe even later. So all the revenue, all the growth, everything that Sofi is projecting for the rest of 2022 is not even including student loans at all. And Anthony Noto has said, hey, we obviously student loans are good for us. We make money. They're a great thing, but we do not need them. They are not necessary for this. It would help, but we're not going to live or die based off of student loans. I know Sofi has actually come out and been in favor of forgiving $10,000 of student loans for everyone because obviously they know that would help a lot of financial situations. That would help a lot of people. And obviously people being in good financial positions is going to help Sofi. Now, I don't know. They want the student loans to start getting paid off again, but they wouldn't mind if some of that was cut back a little bit. So something to kind of keep in mind as we go through this video. Some big news today is that Sofi was removed from the Google Play Store. Obviously, this is not great if you were trying to get new users, if you were trying to get people to download your app, and it left people wondering, what the heck is going on? When is it coming back? Why did it get removed? Is this a big issue? Is this a big concern? How long is it going to be down for? Really, really weird. So, people are getting kind of mad about this. This is just on obviously the Android, Google side of things. And so this was weird, but that did happen today. They did have somebody reach out to the Sofi support and say, hey, thank you for reaching out. Our Sofi engineering team is working hard to get it back online. If you are already a Sofi member, please provide us with your name and email address associated with the profile, and we'll submit a ticket to notify you when it's back online. If you're not a Sofi member yet, sit tight, and we'll have it up again shortly. So, it does seem good that they at least believe that it will be back up shortly. I don't know at this time if it is back up yet or not. I haven't checked, I haven't looked. I have an iPhone, so I don't know. It's not easy. I mean, obviously I could do it online or whatever, but I can't check the Google Play Store for my phone or anything like that. But yeah, people are mad. And you can see in the comments here, people are saying unbelievable. This shit has taken way too long. Should have never happened. The thing that annoys me most SoFi up in this point is they don't bother releasing a PR or a tweet about this. What a way to earn that stock-based compensation. They'll get a raise after they fix it. This guy, as of 4 hours ago, this guy said it was still not on the Play Store. 3 hours ago, still not back yet. I don't know. Overall, just not a great look. Obviously, people have had a lot of questions about SoFi's kind of quality control. They've had a lot of questions about their customer service or support, all this stuff. And this is even while they are a little bit smaller. For SoFi to really make it big and to be profitable and to be this awesome company and to be this awesome profitable stock, it needs to grow so much more into the future for years and years and years. And if they're having these issues at a relatively small scale, like these are only issues that are going to get worse and harder to handle at a larger scale. So this is definitely a little bit worrisome. Hopefully this is just kind of an isolated incident. Hopefully this is just, kind of a one-off issue or whatever, but definitely something that people aren't going to be happy about. And again, the more downtime you have, that's more time that people can't sign up, that people can't join, people can't download that, people can't find out about you. If it just lasts a couple hours, it's not the end of the world in the grand scheme of things going over years and years and years. But, if this thing starts happening more often, if this thing's down for days or something, like, hey, that's an issue, especially when people are paying their hard-earned money to invest in this thing, and people really want to see it succeed, and people want to see it grow, and they're getting all these promises, and they're having all these issues and stuff, and the stock is getting killed over the past couple of months, all these things, and then you start having issues on the company side as well. Like, that's going to be frustrating for people, and I definitely understand. So hopefully they can get that under control. But this is kind of the big news of the day, and not necessarily a great story for SoFi. But again, like Seeking Alpha saying, hey, the story's far from over. SoFi isn't just student loans, but, like we say, that student loan piece is part of it, and it is a nice chunk of revenue that SoFi would like to get at some point. But there is more and more news and tweets and stuff coming out that apparently the Biden administration is starting to talk more and more about potentially forgiving some amounts of student loan, maybe 10,000 like they had talked about before, and maybe even all of it. Maybe that is back on the table, which is very, very interesting, because during his campaign, one of like the campaign promises and stuff is that they were going to take a look at student loans, that they were maybe going to forgive some, if not all, of student loans. And then as he became president, what he was saying just started to change. It started to be like, whoa, I don't know about all that. Whoa, I don't know if we're going to do all student loan debt. Whoa, I don't know if we're going to do 10,000. It's like, that was like literally one of the campaign promises you run on. So obviously that was not a great look for him. But also, it's 2022. It's, a midterm election year. We have that coming up. Maybe forgiving $10,000 of student loans. Maybe forgiving all student loans. Maybe that could be, a thing that really, ends up being a very, very big deal for the Democratic Party. Obviously, it could be. But again, he is also, we can all assume, going to try and run for re-election in 2024. And it's going to be very easy to take shots at him if, again, one of his big campaign promises was trying to solve the student loan debt issue, and he ends up doing nothing about it when, there's all these quotes about him talking about how it's an issue and how he's going to, bring about solutions or change or whatever. So, we'll have to wait and see. But again, obviously, part of the SoFi story right now is that, hey, even though student loan moratorium keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, that, hey, eventually it won't get pushed back. So even though it's kind of annoying in the short term, SoFi, we'll be able to get that money eventually. But if $10,000 of student loan debt does get forgiven, that'll be good and bad for SoFi. One, it will remove the kind of mystique or mysteriousness of it all. And the stock market likes knowing. They don't like uncertainty. So if they know, hey, student loans are going to start getting paid back now, but it's $10,000 less from everybody, I think that would be a good thing. But obviously, SoFi would miss out on some money. Then, there's a possibility of maybe this doesn't work out. Maybe they're just talking about this and hyping it up again to get ready for the midterm elections, get through the election cycle, and then they pull the rug again, just like with the presidential election. Or maybe, and I think it's an outside shot, but maybe all student loan debt gets forgiven, and that would be, a significant hit to SoFi. Like Noto has said, hey, it's not do or die. It's not make or break. We're not needing that. But that would be a nice little chunk of revenue that SoFi misses out on if they do end up forgiving, some insane amount of student loan debt or something like that. But it is being talked about more and more. So definitely, something to keep in mind. This was kind of funny on the SoFi stock subreddit. Venmo owner PayPal is one of the worst stocks of 2022. But hey, it is. PayPal's down 57.62% year to date. But when you compare that to SoFi, SoFi's actually down more, 60.78% year to date. So it's kind of funny for, SoFi shareholders to see people dogging on other stocks, calling them some of the worst stocks of 2022, while SoFi has been worse. But also, it helps you understand why people are a little bit frustrated and stuff, because, yes, this has been a rough 4 months if you've been invested in the stock. And then just people in general talking about how your portfolio is looking, me just trying to get my money right with all of these other issues going on. And, some of this stuff is SoFi related, but some of it's not. Some of this is stuff that's hitting the whole market. I know I was looking at SPY today, and SPY's down like 11, 12, 13% in the past 4 months, which is really, really crazy. That's like an awful 4 months. It's like historically bad. It's not necessarily like an insane crash or depression or anything like that, but outside of like depression and recession, being down 13% in 4 months in the SPY, pretty unusual, and also, pretty bad. And then you throw in, the SoFi specific issues on top of all that, and that's how you get to the point where, we're down 60, 61, whatever percent year to date. But just know there's a lot that goes into it, and it's never as bad as the worst day or as good as the best day. So yeah, we went from a crazy overbought period, and now, maybe there's a chance we're in a crazy oversold period, and reality is probably somewhere in between. We're going to get through these bad days. We made it past all the good days. We'll get through the bad days as well. We'll see what happens. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Tell me, drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think about SOFI. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hope to catch you guys in the next one. But until then.